right, everybody, what's up? Look, super excited and thrilled that you're here. I see some comments in here from a couple of folks. I got to say hello. Yes, the honest accomplice. Dan said it's Tanya and the chicken dance. Katie is supplying the pollo for the pollo asado. Okay. Look, we do have a special guest tonight. So let me introduce myself really quickly so that I can make sure to get her on. I'm Tanya Smith, and this is Stream Like a Boss TV. I want to say hello and what's up to those of you who are in the chat already. I see Carlos Tacos. What's up? I see Scott Benedict in the house. I know more of you are coming on in because we are a little bit earlier than normal. Of course, I wanted to accommodate my very special guest, Katie Fawkes, who you are going to love as much as I do. I promise you. And I wanted to make sure that we had a chance to get her on. So, of course, I'm going to do everything I can to make adjustments. Look, if you're not watching live and you're watching the replay, type in hashtag replay. If you're watching live, you know that on Stream Like a Boss TV, what we do is we recognize you by this. Put in hashtag newbie if you're new to the show and you've never ever been here before. But if you've been here, you know to put in hashtag OG because that's what we do. So Scott knew what to do. He put in hashtag OG. It's good to see you, sir. I love that all of you are in the chat already. Look, when we talk about streaming like a boss, we're talking about how to leverage live stream marketing so that you can really stand out online, sell more of your services, right? So if you're going to be doing that, one of the things that we want to express to you is tips and solutions on how you can actually do just that. And that's why Katie's here. She's from Ecamm Live, and we'll talk a little bit more about that in just a second because I'm going to definitely let her introduce herself. George in the house. What's up, newbie? You know what? You're new, but you family because I remember meeting you at Ecamm Creator Camp. So it's so good to see you. All right, look. On the other side of this video that we're going to be sharing in just a minute, we're going to meet our wonderful guest, Katie Fawkes. I'm going to let her introduce herself a little bit more, and then we're going to dive in with some questions. So I want you to definitely be asking your questions as well as sharing some love for our guest in the chat. We definitely need to give her a little bit of love. And thank you, thank you, thank you. There's an OG in the house, Miss Tiffany. Yes. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I love it. We are all fam. Okay, look, enough of me talking. Let's get Katie up here. On the other side of this video, I'm going to introduce her or let her introduce herself. But before we go into the video, what I want you to do is this. Grab a notepad and a pen because you never know what's going to come out of our mouth. And it could be something that's your next tip, your next step to being able to really live stream like a boss. So make sure you do that. Get your favorite drink of hydration. And on the other side of this video, I will see you back here with Katie. All right. Look, I am super excited, Katie. I got so nervous, and I don't really get nervous, but I will tell you why. It's because you didn't know that I've been watching you for some time.
Are you like a quiet, not
I'm a
chat
lurker.
stalker? You're a lurker?
I'm a
Oh
lurker.
no, you need to not lurk. You need to chat. The fun is in the chat.
I am a lurker. Yeah, there's so much fun. Look, so Kurt came over to YT. Let me put a couple of these comments up, Katie. I want you to definitely introduce yourself. And I also want to acknowledge the folks that are in the chat. But yeah, I've been watching, and I'm going to tell you why I've been watching. It's because there are so many people who are on video and who do streaming shows and things like that that are really extroverted and out of, they're like out there. And I'm kind of a chillpreneur.
That's an amazing term. I am totally stealing that one. I love it.
And I look for others who kind of like are just chill, like you chill, but you're still delivering the magic, still sharing the solutions, still giving knowledge, dropping the knowledge bomb. So I noticed that about you, and I felt there was a kindred spirit. So I just want you to
Oh, I
know
love it.
that I
Thank you.
appreciate that in you.
Thank you. I love that.
Yes.
Mm.
Let's do a couple of comments, and then I want you to definitely tell everybody a little bit about yourself. I want to make sure you know how much love is in the chat. First of all, Kirk Nugent said, let's go. Hold up. I got to fix this because it's showing in white. Why is that? So,
People I admire. Look at this. I love it. I always love seeing the chat. It's so funny. Like it's the chat gives me my confidence. Honestly, like I was the person who, when starting in the world of live streaming, I was like, I'm just gonna sit behind the camera for a little bit. Like I'm okay with other people taking this over. And then all the people who showed up, all these folks who showed up in the chat and like gave supportive comments and were excited to see me. It gives you such energy. I don't know.
it
If you're not
does.
live streaming, you're missing out because it's so much fun to just get to spend time with people. It's so fun.
And to see people that like you may not have
Yeah.
ever met in person, but you feel like you get to know them over time
You
because they
you
always,
do.
yeah,
Yeah.
they show up on camera. Tell us a
Yeah.
little bit about how you even got started doing anything with video. I know you're with Ecamm. I know you also do a podcast called The Flow.
Mhm.
So why video? That's my first question. And tell us a little bit about like how you got to this space where you are. Why are you sitting in this seat today?
Oh my goodness. Well, I am a reluctant live streamer, as as I just alluded to. I got started in video because I joined Ecamm as their, at the time, marketing manager, and I knew nothing about video before. In fact, less than nothing. I was absolutely the person who had worked with marketing teams of all sizes from all industries, and anytime anything related to video came up, I was the person that was like, yeah, I'm just gonna I'm sick that day, and also like I'll send that into you later and I need multiple takes. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like I really was the person who would be almost in tears at the idea of having to be on video. My background is actually in copywriting and in product writing. So I can write an email all day long. I'm fine with blog posts, but video is really scary for me. I got this amazing opportunity to join good friends of mine and work at Ecamm, which was exactly the kind of company that I was looking to join, exactly the type of challenge I was looking to take on. But the one scary monster in the room was that it meant I would have to be on video. So I had to
Right.
just force myself to do it. So if you're sitting here and you're like, oh, I don't know, it's really scary, or I've been thinking about this, but I don't really know how to get into it. There are many of us out there like you that it is the thing that scared us the most and the thing that felt the most daunting and hard and
Yeah.
difficult. And it really is up to you to decide how you want to approach it. And it is easier and less scary than it seems. So, and I'm saying that from now, looking back at almost 4 years of experience in it, which is not even as long as most of our customers, but I can say that it does get easier the more you do it, and it gets way more fun the more you do it. Now it's like one of my favorite parts of the day. So,
It is
uh,
super
yeah,
fun now, but
that's my story.
I feel the same. I felt like there's no way anybody will ever get me on camera. Like that was
Mhm. Right?
like that's not I would be behind slides
Yeah. Yeah, same.
doing
I like my
voiceover.
voice. Yeah, exactly. I'm
Right.
fine with my voice. It's I'm just a perfectionist. For me, it
Yes.
was this idea of, what if I remember one of the first kind of video projects, I was like, okay, I've been diving into this Ecamm tool for a while. And I'll record, like, I'm not going to live stream. That's terrifying. I'll record a video of doing a demo of Ecamm, because at the time we had no demo videos. We did not have Doc Rock. We had like very few videos. And I couldn't even do that. Like, seeing myself on the screen, I was like, oh, what if I say something dumb? What if I'm wrong? And the customers are like, that's not how that works. So, like, I just kept the voices in your head just keep kind of coming at you. So
Yeah.
yeah, it can be tricky to dive into it and kind of get past that, kind of get through the voices to the other side of
Yeah.
your, you have something to offer people. You have something to share. You're smarter than you think you are.
Look, all the things that you just said, every single bit of it. And here's my question for you, though. When you first showed up on camera, you first
Hmm.
said, okay, I'm just going to do it anyway, and
Hmm.
started feeling like, okay, I'm getting the hang of this. What was the light bulb moment, or was there one?
The light bulb moment was the Ecamm fam. So we call our our customer group, our members, the Ecamm fam, which the incredible Marshall Fawkes coined for us. So props to him there. But it's these comments, right? So there's George saying we love Katie.
Mm-hmm.
These people just started showing up in the chat and saying nice things about me, and it still blows my mind at like all of these comments. They just are still surprising to me, if I'm being totally honest. Like they're that people, make time to come and listen, and that the content that I'm sharing is helpful, and they're excited to see me, to be here. And it made all the difference. It reminded me why I was doing it. It reminded
Yeah.
me why I was excited to take on this challenge. I love community marketing, and I think doing a pretty good job of being in our Facebook group and typing, getting to
Yeah.
know people that way. So seeing that pay off and seeing people jumping into the comments in the chat and really being cheerleaders, it made all the difference. So now I try as hard as I can to be the same level of cheerleader in other people's streams, whether that's me joining as a guest or jumping into the chat, or seeing their questions and highlighting those and answering them, because it was the light bulb moment for me to say like, oh, this I'm overthinking this. This isn't as scary as it feels, and it's not. We're just all together wanting to learn together, and there's no what's the worst that could happen? What's the word like?
Yeah, like nobody's
What's
gonna die, nobody's gonna get sick over you doing a live stream or getting yourself on camera.
oh,
You could always delete it,
yep,
like all
yep,
the things.
yep.
What made you decide to do so? You and Doc Rock do the Flow podcast, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's so funny. And you've probably seen this too in the space that you're in, but over, the first couple of years of being part of the Ecamm team, obviously, we had a huge pandemic and everyone needed to be on video, and it brought in all of these different kinds of audiences and customer types that we hadn't seen before. And many people, including myself, were in this world where we were consuming content in all different kinds of ways, right? And
Yeah.
podcasting was a huge part of that. I previously to Ecamm had a job at pre-pandemic where I would drive, probably 2.5 hours a day, right? It was like an hour-ish in, an hour-ish home in like awful, terrible traffic.
Mm-hmm.
And so podcasts were life. I was listening to podcasts endlessly. And then moving into the Ecamm space and kind of seeing how podcasting and video were merging, and seeing more and more people were approaching shows and video content through the lens of podcasting. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, well, like this is all the same. Like when you're doing a live show, it's the same planning and thinking through and bringing on
Yep.
guests and creating content that you're doing with a podcast, with a video podcast. So I was like, well, rather than us create like tutorials on how to do it and kind of record these videos, let's just do our own video podcast,
Yeah.
and we can fail publicly, we can succeed publicly, but we can show people what's possible, and we can trial the things that they may not have the budget or ability or level of confidence to try themselves, and see if it works. And it's been a really good, fun experience for us. We've learned a ton. We've now been doing it for just over a year. um and we're coming up to our kind of our last episode of the year. We were like, we weren't going to do seasons, and then the more we got into it, we're like, oh no, we really want the opportunity over the holidays to be able to really like sink into like what are the next series of episodes that we want to do. Who are the people we want to jump on with us, and be able to bring to our Ecamm fam, our flow riders that we
Flow
call them.
riders?
We love a nickname. We
That
love
is
a nickname at
awesome.
Ecamm. So they are flow riders, but yeah, so it's the same kind of mentality that we do across the board at Ecamm. It's like, if why, if we expect our customers to be using this tool to be able to create video, then we should be learning alongside them. It changes so quickly in the
Yeah.
world of video that if we don't understand what the challenges are and feel those challenges ourselves, we're never going to be able to solve them and convince our customers that Ecamm is a great solution for it.
And because you've been in this so long, my question would be then for this past year, has there been kind of a trend that you've seen that has been like something that stood out to you? Is there a
Oh
trend in
gosh.
the world of video or audio? I
Yeah.
know there's probably lots, but just one.
There's probably lots. All right, so the one that I've been really focused on, and I've been trying to think through this more of a trend slash challenge, is that it's now significantly easier than ever to record content, right? Whether that's
Yeah.
your live streaming, your recording content, we are all able to do it. It's easy. It's in the hands of everyone. Anyone can do it, whether you're on your phone, apps, etc. But then people get into this space, and raise your hand or let us know in the chat if you're in this place. I feel like most of us are, where now we have tons of content, all, and you're sitting there going like, how do I clip up some of this content, repurpose it? Like, how do I create this workflow that makes sense to me, that is doable, that I'm not feeling totally underwater with? Because,
Yeah.
many of us are doing it as a passion or a
Right.
side hustle, or maybe we're entrepreneurs or solopreneurs. We're in a small team. We gotta get gritty with some of this. We don't have huge teams to be doing all of the work for us. We don't at Ecamm. So I've just been seeing this trend of like, how do we make this easier? How do we make this more efficient? How do we think about it bigger picture to be able to make it doable so that we can be consistent and we can keep these shows going and we can grow and delight our audiences better? And I think we've been seeing kind of some solutions rising up. I mean, certainly I think there's some things you can do if you're an Ecamm user that save a bunch of time and get you to think about it a little bit differently. But for me, I think that's been the kind of thing I keep hearing over and over again, particularly in the podcasting space. But I think even
Yeah.
in general with marketers, is like, it's too much. It's so much. How do we make
Yeah.
it so that it makes sense?
Yeah, because not only is it let me create content for the video and let me put together a script before the video and let me have a workflow during the video, but even after the video, what am I doing with all that content and how am I repurposing it so that I can take care of my social media posts and then email marketing and then community and then
Red flag, red flag. It's a lot.
it's a lot. It's a lot. And I think I do. It's interesting that you brought that up because that's something we've had a lot of conversations about, even in my own communities, where I'm trying to help them find strategies and maybe spreadsheets or, different flows that they can use or checklists. But it, regardless, is still a lot. No matter
Mm-hmm.
how organized and systematized you are, which I am very much so because I do have a full time corporate on
Yeah.
top of this, which has almost become full time in addition to kids and
Hmm.
just all the things. So it's a lot. Oh,
Yeah.
I gotta pick up some of these comments because they're
I
rolling
know.
in.
Looking at
Look,
all
the
those.
whole family is in here. Hold
Yeah.
up. First of all, let me acknowledge Tiffany because she said she was pretty nervous to live stream the first time because it forces you to get comfortable with yourself. Which,
Same. 100%. Yep.
yeah, we feel you,
Yeah.
Tiffany. We definitely
Mhm.
feel you. And look, Dan said the same. He said, I have body
Mhm.
dysmorphia. I've never been comfortable with myself, but the mission is bigger than the sacrifice. Let me put up
100%.
some gold on that one, bro, because that's the truth. It is bigger. When you know exactly what you're doing it for, it makes all the difference.
It does. Yeah.
James
Yeah,
said,
James is right there with me,
hey,
yeah.
what's
So much
up?
so much stuff, so much stuff.
Roy says hello. Hey everyone, Ecamm
Alright.
fam in the house. Look, there's so many. Mommy Lala.
Hey, Lala. Oh,
Look,
look, Lala, I have my ornament right here at the ready. Lala made this for us at our recent Creator Camp event, and it's my favorite.
you know
Shh, don't
what?
tell anyone else.
Everybody has theirs at the front. I need to get mine like so I can have it right here. So I'm gonna do
Mhm.
that. Lala, I will have mine next time because you're the second person, Katie, that's brought theirs up. So
It's
now
I Yeah, it's the
I'm
best.
feeling
I'm
bad.
counting down till Christmas so I can hang it on my tree. I'm ready.
Mine is downstairs waiting on my tree, Lala.
Mm.
So, but I'm going to bring it
You're
up here next time because now I feel like you know, I'm the bad guy. I'm the
No,
black
that was
sheep
not
of the
the
Ecamm.
intent. That was not the intent.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, mommy said too, the first time was always the hardest. So
Yeah.
putting this whole thing about systems together and flows and is that something that Ecamm has in mind as you're introducing new features and you're coming up with new plans on how things are going to go? Is that top of mind, or what's the first thought? Like, is it, hey, we need to keep up with the trends because these companies over here are doing this? Or is it truly about, like, here's what our customers are saying they need? Or is it more about global trends? Does that question make sense?
Yeah, that question makes sense. So I would say from a app development, like feature development standpoint, Ken and Glenn are really focused on listening very closely to what the community wants and needs, and also with an eye to keeping the app as simple as possible. So it's this balancing act of, is the feature we're introducing going to make the process easier for everyone and be an improvement and kind of, adding some functionality to make the experience easier, but is it going to like overwhelm and terrify the people that are just starting off with the app, right? So it's a balancing act there. I think the Ecamm actually has a ton of ability in it, even just by leveraging scenes and profiles, which are like foundational parts of the app that people just aren't thinking about maybe as well as they could be. So I think really when it comes to workflows, it's more of a marketing challenge for us than it is necessarily like an app update challenge. It's
Mm-hmm.
really convincing people, hey, you've invested in this tool. And maybe if it's not Ecamm, it's another recording tool, but you've invested in this tool and this studio space, like you're in for your podcast, your show, your video content, whatever it is. Go all in. Go like have a detailed plan, keep it set up so that you can just go in, turn it on, and you can record video. Like make it easier on yourself, really understand what the features of those tools are, and get rid of all the other stuff. Get rid of all of the other noise, things that you're not using, things that are causing distractions, and like really think through what your process is. We had someone on the Flow podcast a few months back who was talking all about automations. And one of the things that he was saying was like, it starts with actually jotting down at however you want to do this, whether it's in an app
Yep.
or it's whiteboard or pencil and paper. How are you spending your time as it relates to the content you're creating? And like, it gets real pretty quick when you when you're writing things down. You're like,
Yes.
oh, looks like I actually spent like a lot of time like looking at like background colors when I should be
Right.
doing, like, so I think really jotting that down and getting real with yourself on like where that time is being wasted, what are the most important steps, what are you doing just because everyone else is telling you to do it versus
Yeah.
you actually need it or want it. So yeah, I think it's an interesting challenge because I think it really comes down actually to more of getting people to really think through how they're using the tool more than the actual features within it or how it works, because a lot of it is back to basics. It's really that foundational those
Yeah.
foundational original features that people sometimes forget because of all the splashy fun new features that come out.
I do love the splashy new fun features. I do love that.
Same.
But first and foremost, I love thinking of it as a tool to help me
Mhm.
to meet my marketing and business goals.
Yeah.
Period. Like, it's a tool and it's fun and I can get lost in all of that, but in the end it's, is it going to help me to generate revenue? That's
Mhm.
how I think. Like,
Yeah.
how does this help me to generate revenue and to reach the people that I'm intended to meet or reach so
Mhm.
that I can make an impact? So,
Yep.
yeah, I love that. What do you think is the most fun thing about what you do? And then Dan has given me a secret question to ask you. I'm gonna go ahead and warn you. I gotta pull it up
He
because I gotta see.
he warned me. He didn't tell me the question, but he warned me. So I'm ready. I bring it on. All right. So the most fun aspect of my job again comes back to the people. I work with super fun people. I get to work with, I get to chat with customers and family members across like the entire world from every conceivable industry. I've been on shows with magicians that have like performed magic while I've been
Wow.
there. I've
What?
talked with churches and like and leaders of faith. I've talked with teachers. I like literally every conceivable possible industry from really all over the entire world. And it's just amazing to me hearing stories about how this tool or how video in general has just made their business better, improved their
Yeah.
lives, helped them in a time where they felt isolated and lonely, and connected
Yes.
them with their people. It's the people and it's the stories, and it makes it fun every single day, just getting to, I don't know, yeah, just feeling like we're a company of 9. That's it. And yet it feels like we're a company of thousands because our
Yes.
customers are so much of a part of what we do every single day that it feels like we're always there with a giant family and not just a few of us standing there. So it's really nice.
You do have a giant family, whether you know that or not. I'm sure you know that because the camp showed that to me. I was like, oh my God. So these are all the people that I've gotten a chance to see on camera, like
Yeah.
from a distance. I'm sitting in my house in Dallas. Lala is over in the Philippines, which is where my husband is,
Yeah.
by the way.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, he's over there like 85 to 90% of the year. So,
Wow. Yeah.
lots and lots of folks all over the world love Ecamm. And I'm going to tell you something. I don't always tell people this, but I bought a Mac computer solely so that I could use Ecamm.
You are hilariously not even close to the only one. I hear
I
that
really,
all the time,
really,
and it makes me so happy. Glenn and I were actually having a conversation earlier today, and he was talking about how he was like, he just bought the new M3 laptop that is supposed to arrive in the next couple of days here, and he's really excited
ah,
about it. And he was like, "Oh, I probably didn't really need it. Like, there was nothing really wrong with like my M2." And I was like, Glenn, we have customers who are literally like buying Mac computers so that they can use Ecamm. So I think it's probably fine if you have like the latest, newest one,
yeah,
because you're going to be developing and seeing what issues crop up with new hardware and new software and all the like. But yeah, it was just funny. Like he was like, I don't know, like the computers last for so much longer than you think they do that it's always
they
kind of
do.
hard to be like, do I need this newest
I
one? Do I?
know. But it's
Yeah.
fun. It's like all of us are gearheads too. We all love buying gear. So. But
Yeah.
I'm about to ask you this question that Dan gave me. Before
All
I
right.
do
All
that,
right. I'm in.
just get ready. Before you
I'm
do
ready.
that, before we do that, I'm going to just acknowledge a couple of folks. Let's
Mhm.
see. So, mommy's saying hi to everybody because she's beautiful like that. She's
The
just saying
best, yeah.
hi. She's giving everybody virtual hugs.
The first
She
time is
did
the
it.
hardest. Mhm.
Yeah, that first time getting on camera. Oh, Dan already has his tree up. Of course he does.
Of course you do, yeah. I believe that.
Hey, David Kennedy, what's up? What's up? I hope everything worked out with that tip I gave you. I know you asked me a question about video the other day, so hopefully that worked out. Tried OBS the first time I tried to live stream, and no way I couldn't do it. Then I found Ecamm, and I was like finding a needle in a haystack. I know. I know. I think that wasn't the right analogy. What I meant was like finding gold. Okay.
Oh,
We got it. We
we
understood what
get
you were
you, we get
saying.
you.
She said the best
Oh.
feature, let's see, the best feature for me thus far was being able to stream to multiple platforms
Mhm.
directly from
Yeah.
Ecamm and being able to bring in more than 5 guests. So thank you. Yes. And of course, she has a whole list.
Yeah, I love it. I know, I always feel bad for our tech support team because they're not customer facing, like, they're not out on videos, and so everyone is always like, "The Ecamm support does such a great job. Katie and Doc are awesome." And I was like, "Oh, I could not tech support if my life depended on it." To be clear, like, we have a team of people who are doing tech support. I can be friendly and try to push the buttons and see if I can figure out what's going on, but yeah, they are an amazing team. They work really hard.
They do. And honestly, I think I've had to use them twice
Perfect.
in the 2 or 3
They're thrilled.
years.
Yeah.
So that's
No, that's
how
great.
little I've had issues with Ecamm. And
Mhm.
I've had issues before with other stuff, but we figure things out. And I use the
Mhm.
beta for the most part. But I
Yeah.
literally, a couple of years ago, went from being a totally PC and Android girl to
Wow.
buying a Mac just to use Ecamm because I had a FOMO. I was like
Yeah.
watching everybody else and I'm like, wow, these are really cool graphics. Like, how are they making that thing fly across the screen? And I was using OBS too, but
Oh,
it took
wow.
me a lot of configuring.
Yeah.
So,
OBS gets you there. Like it does work.
well,
It's just not easy. It's a lot of steps.
it was some work. Now, learning live streaming with John Lacey is not on here yet. I know he's going to watch the replay and he's going to say, now, I'm an OBS fan, which he is.
Hey, I'm impressed because
Yeah.
again, I tried to just to see the difference between the two of them. I tried to I'm like, oh, I'll just see if I can set up a show in OBS. Could not do it. My 11-year-old could 100% set everything up in like minutes. He was like, I got it. I'm fine. But
I'm doing it,
it's
Mom.
it's hard. So anyone that pulls it off, I mean, it can do a lot. It's a powerful software, but it is not easy.
Yeah, I did OBS, I did vMix. When I tell you I've done them all, I literally have done them all. So Ecamm has been a gift. I was so excited when I started using it, and I still am to this day. Look,
Love it.
here's the question.
All right, all right, I'm ready.
I don't even know where this is going to lead. So I'm just going to say, and I had to pull it up again because I'm like, wait, I forgot. He said, you might get a great answer if you ask Katie about the movie Con Air.
All right, so Dan is saying this because I have a 80s, 90s, and today movie review show that I do with my best friend on Thursday nights, which is why you were so accommodating and moved this earlier because I'm back
Ah.
to back you and then I'm diving into Con Air. So
Oh,
I've been in the world of Con Air for the entire week and it is Hank's favorite movie. So we have Hank coming on. I don't know if it's my favorite movie, if I'm being totally honest, but if you want my full feels about Con Air, you'll have to join us for the episode.
okay. Where
But
do we
yeah,
go? Where do we go for the
so
Con Air?
so you go over to YouTube and you search the VHS Club. So if you go
Okay.
youtube.com/at the VHS Club, you will find us. But and I will say right before I jumped on, so this might be helpful for people that are not fans of 90s movies and don't want to talk about 90s movies. But right before I jumped on with you, I was actually I was screen recording my process for the VHS Club because I never want to do editing. I don't want to do it. I'm doing this podcast for fun. I have no desire to edit. But
Yep.
one thing I do want to be able to do is have these like short clips that I can use for promo, right? Yeah, there I am. But so I was going through this like really detailed process that works. Like it works, but it was taking me a ton of time where I was waiting until the episode was done. Like we live stream our episode and then we grab the video file and send it through our podcast host. But I was like, when we're done live streaming, we're done our recording process, I'll grab that file, I'll put it into Descript, which I adore that tool, but I'll put it in, I'll pull up the transcript and then I'll scan through the text to try to see what brilliant things I said or Natalie said, my co-host, and then I'll highlight it and then I'll clip, right? And then I'll have all these fun clips that I can use in promo. And it was taking me forever because
Yep.
I'm so picky and then I was like, oh, I don't know. And like some things like made sense only in the context of watching the full episode. And every episode is an hour long. So it's a lot of transcript to read through. And then the other challenge was that the videos on the other side were not vertical.
Right.
They were widescreen. So
Mm-hmm.
then they're not ideal for TikTok and Instagram and YouTube Shorts and all these places I wanted to put them. So I was like, okay, this isn't working and I'm wasting a bunch of time when I'm in my workflow era. So what I do now and what I just recorded a screen record just to show everyone was I built a scene in Ecamm. So I have I have my profile for the VHS Club. I have all my scenes all lined up. And I built a scene called Vertical. And I toggled over in Ecamm to switch between wide aspect ratio to tall, which is a
Mm-hmm.
thing you can do in Ecamm while I'm still building. Wasn't live streaming or recording. And then I shrunk down my graphics and kind of like repositioned them to look cool in a tall format and shrunk my little like picture box down. I put my Con Air movie cover on the bottom. And so that it looks great. And so
Yeah.
now, right before I record or right after, whatever works for my schedule, I record a 58-second video clip using Ecamm in the vertical format that's just 3 fun facts that you may not know about this movie. So
Love it.
I've already researched it. I've already talked about it in depth during the episode, or I have my notes at the ready. So it takes me minutes to do, or 58 seconds, I guess. And I record it. I don't think about it again. And then I just either, if it's before the episode, then I upload it to YouTube and I use it as a promo. If it's after the episode, then I use it as a promo to remind people to catch the replay or to listen to the audio only version of it. It takes me, like I said, minutes. And then when I'm ready to, I've done my recording, then I just go back up to Ecamm. I switch it from tall back to wide, and I go back to my main scene, and I'm good to go. That one scene, switching back and forth between vertical and wide, only messes up that one scene, doesn't mess up any of my other scenes. And it
Love
takes
it.
me, a couple of seconds to edit. So little hacks like that, again, that was saving me hours and so much frustration and being like, just is not looking the way that I want it to. And maybe I have to hire an editor to build me like a vertical scene and I have to drag this video out. And I'm like,
Yep.
this is a fun podcast. I don't want to do that. So, so yeah, I don't know if you're thinking through like that process, or you're trying to figure out a faster way to do it. Sometimes the solution is just approaching it differently. If you have a
Yeah.
recording tool, just record
Yep.
them separately. It doesn't take as long as you think it does. You've already done all the prep work.
It's interesting that you said that, because I think it's good for people to hear different. I want people to know, especially with my show, when I do my training type of videos, what are the possibilities? And
Yeah.
how can you do more with what you have, right? You don't always have to go out and buy new technology, new apps, and all of those things. So what you're doing is you're making optimal use of Ecamm and saying, hey, I'm going to switch from this to this, and you have your workflow down. And the more consistent you are with your workflow, the faster even that will get, so that
Yep.
you can produce what you want consistently, right? And so for me, one of the things, because I am kind of a geek, like I get called walking Google all the time. And
That's such a compliment. I love
I'm
it.
telling you, for years I've been this. Like years ago, I used to do this thing called Clip of the Week, and it was a YouTube video without my face, where I would review apps, right? But there are now tools such as Opus. Opus is one of the ones that I use pretty
Opus
regularly.
is fantastic. Yep.
Yeah, video AI is also another one that's okay. It does well. Content Fries used to be better,
Yep.
but the thing that I love about Opus and a lot of the ones along that vein is that they will take your video, your horizontal video, and they will clip it into vertical format, and they will pull through AI
Yep.
what they call intelligent clips. So
Yep.
that's another route too. But what I love about what you just shared is that you shared an alternative for people who are like, I don't want another subscription.
Exactly. I feel you. Like there's, obviously when I'm doing things for Ecamm, I have a really different budget than when I'm doing things for myself, or, or for fun, or
Yeah.
so. Yeah, it's like and it's not, sometimes it's not only the Opus is actually really easy. So this is not even a good example, but sometimes it's not even the cost of an additional tool. It's figuring out like how to use it or what the best
Yeah.
features are for it, because a lot of these tools are trying to do a lot of stuff, or do a lot of
Yes.
stuff really well. And then it takes time. You have to devote time to be able to sit down and learn how it all works. And, and you might already have that feature within, like I
Right.
used QuickTime to record my screen recording, because I couldn't do it in Ecamm, because I was toggling back and forth in things in Ecamm that if I was recording, I wouldn't be able to access. And I was like, oh man, I forgot like how easy it is to just do a screen recording using QuickTime, right? Because sometimes you don't remember what tools you already have, and sometimes
Yes.
it just takes time to learn new features in them. So yeah, I don't know. I think it's just a matter of, again, going back to and thinking through, what's your workflow? What are you trying to accomplish? Where are those points where you can save yourself time? Where are those pain points where you're like me, you were losing your mind at doing something where it could be easier, or it could be like
Yeah.
I knew that I was wasting time. Like it was
Mm-hmm.
the right tool, but for a different project than what I was
Yeah.
trying to do.
Yeah. And it's amazing when you sit down and you think about what do I have and how can I use this more efficiently. It's
Yeah.
amazing the type of answers you will get. I got a pop up dance. No, hold on. After the fiasco, he's so Dan. He had
Oh,
given
Dan, you
up on
crack me
Canadians.
up.
My
Never give up
my.
on Canadians. There's so many good ones out there. Come on now.
Ecamm OG, but did buy an M2 MacBook
Mhm.
Pro for Creator Camp. Hey,
I love that. Yeah. Yeah,
hey,
it's their Apple releases always make it way too fun. It's
it's
difficult
true.
to fight the FOMO. Hi,
It is
Dee.
true. What's up, D? Yes, yes, yes. I told. Oh, he said I told you it wasn't bad because I was like, what?
You
Con
were like,
Air?
Con
What?
Air? What?
Why?
Con Air. That is such a masculine movie. I did not I saw it originally and I remember liking it because I lo- I love John Cusack and I like and Nicolas Cage is always funny,
Yeah,
but it is more ridiculous than you remember, everyone, and it's so like macho. Like you're just like, wow, just like no women in this, huh? Like just none. There's
none.
just like I guess there's the wife. There's the wife who's like waiting by the side, and
Oh,
there's like
was
a
there?
yeah, there was Monica Potter plays his Nicolas Cage's wife. And then there's a guard, a female guard, who's just like under attack the entire time. But it's a lot of dudes. It's dude heavy.
Dude, heavy. I love
Dude
it.
heavy.
Oh my goodness. Lou said, "Help! Wait." Lou Bortone. I can't
Hey
stop
Lou.
buying gear. Help! I need a gear intervention. I know, Lou. Right?
I've
Wait.
been on a kick lately. Lou, and it didn't work for me tonight actually because I had to change over to my what my friends call the potato cam built in here. But I've been on a kick of trying to simplify. So I have like a really small home office space. So I'm like, I'm not. I've been playing around with with camo and with my like smaller, more portable webcams versus like I have a Sony mirrorless camera, but to set it all up on my desk just takes up half my desk space, and
Yeah.
then it feels like it's right here in my face. It's a little intense. So yeah, I don't know. Look at it differently, Lou. Look at what you have. I bet you have a lot of stuff that is
He's got a
probably
lot. He's got.
similar quality to what you're looking at.
Look, Lou has been around. He's been in this game for a long time. So I know we met each other. I don't know, Lou, was it 10, 11, 12 years ago? For the first time, we met in person. And we've been connected ever since. It's crazy how you meet people online. Like you were saying earlier about Ecamm, that's the power of just having an online space or community that you create through something like a platform such as Ecamm.
Yeah.
So that you get to connect and stay connected to people. You really truly are a family. Lou
Yeah.
said he has at least 10. You have at least 10 cameras. Yeah, not a surprise.
We're not crying for you, Lou.
No.
You have enough cameras. Give some of them to someone else in the chat.
Right. I'm trying to sell my stuff right now because Elo, who I also see in the house,
Hey, Lou.
the other day we did a video and we were talking about gear solutions. And so Elo clued me in that I need to make sure that I am selling and reselling. So I have been
Mhm.
putting together my graveyard of gear.
I love that. The gear graveyard, post Halloween gear graveyard. Oh, Lou's correcting himself. Okay, we take it back, Lou. Lou says 10 years, 10 years, not 10
Oh,
cameras.
not 10
Okay.
cameras? Okay, sir. But I bet you do have 10 cameras. I'm just saying. I know you. Okay. Anything that you think would be a really good tip? Because I know you've got to get ready for the VHS Club show. So, first, I'm going to
Yeah,
pop that back up because this is where you're going. You're heading next so that people can follow if
that
they
ain't
want to go
next.
on
I
over there.
know. You come and hang out with me.
Come hang out
Yeah.
with Katie over at the VHS Club. But also, I have my Ecamm Live screen up as well.
Yeah, these are where I live. These are the two. If you're like, where is Katie now? Katie is here on the Ecamm channel. And on Thursday nights, Katie is over at the VHS Club. Oh yeah, too fun. Yeah, more pro tips. I feel like I'm in a phase of just trying to simplify as much as possible. So that's like simplifying down my gear, my space, my tool set because I want to be able to dive deeper and save myself time and be more efficient with how I'm using my time. Is I'd rather, I don't know, like I'd rather be spending time, like I would love to be listening to more podcasts and watching more shows and like and learning more instead of spending time, you know, in like spaces that I don't really need to be wasting my time. So yeah, I guess my pro tip is to really, again, like take a look at what your processes are, and whether that's because you want to automate, or just like me, you just want to simplify and, you know, knock off some things and approach it in a different way. It's the perfect time. This is like the time of year
It
to be,
is.
you know, considering and thinking things through. George is ready for VHS Club. This is our movie rating system, Tanya. We rate
Oh
in
my
potatoes.
gosh.
Um,
Potatoes?
Potatoes, yeah, we rate in potatoes. It's a weird show, not gonna lie. Um, yeah, yeah. As Dan's saying, I'm learning how to say no. I'm trying to. This is my November, so I'm focused on saying no to things and simplifying things down. Yeah, I wish I had something smarter to say than that, but
That is
I'm in a
smart.
phase of simplifying things down, making them easier.
Look, even what you just said was simplifying the tip. So there you go. I love it. It's wonderful. Gosh, Katie, thank you. I had more questions, but I know you need to run soon and get prepared.
Oh,
And
you're
I'm going to be coming over there so I can check out this VHS club, because I'm an 80s girl, 80s and 90s girl myself. I love
Oh, yeah.
80s, 90s stuff. So all over that.
Yeah. Yeah,
What's your
definitely. Well,
next big project, Katie? Since you're simplifying, are you adding anything for 2024? Or are you just staying with the things that
oh
you have
my
on your plate?
gosh. I I don't well, we're doing a creator camp too, so we are taking that on and doing that annually. So if you were like, I
What?
missed Ecamm's creator camp,
Sorry. Sorry. Had to put that in there because you
don't
know.
don't panic. Don't panic. We're coming back again. So we're planning for that. We do an annual virtual conference as well that we call Leap. So we're planning for that. Yeah, new projects. I mean, not nothing that's like too outside what you've seen us do, you know, in the past. We're really just doubling down on what works and cutting off
Mm,
everything that doesn't. You know, it's trying to be in a space to just really help people. And again, I think there's a ton of potential in this new kind of landscape where all of the different kinds of video are really merging. So, you know, it's gone are the days where it's like I have a podcast and then over here I
yeah,
have, you know, a
it's
live
true.
stream and over here I have this thing. Now it's just like I use video in these 17 different places, and it's, you know, it's just one place to make it easy to record, stream, share, get it
Yeah.
out to where you need to get it out to create a really powerful
Oh, yeah.
process.
Yeah. I mean, I use Ecamm to create my courses now, the recordings for my courses. Use it for my Zoom calls. I use it for my one on one conferences, my coaching
Yeah.
day, like
Yeah.
everything that I can possibly think of. Keynote speaking, you name it, you can do all of that in Ecamm, y'all, because it's so versatile. And one of the things that I just love about it is that not only is it something that you can use to create whatever vision you have, but you also have such a supportive community of folks that can answer questions if you need help.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. And their idea, like even if you need no help whatsoever, but you're
yeah.
just like, I don't know where to start, like seeing what everyone else is creating and doing blows me away. We have shout out to Martin, who hangs out in our community, our Facebook community all the time. He is constantly just posting the
Oh,
coolest
yeah.
possible videos where he's just playing.
I
And
say
every
once a
time I'm
day.
like, how is he doing, like taking notes? I'm like, how is he doing that? And there's just so many, you know, and Anna and Fulgens, who would do a weekly show for us, 2 weekly shows actually for us, like the creativity and being able to, it's so cool that you can see what everyone else is doing
Yeah.
and get ideas and inspiration from that. Yeah, I think the benefit of a community is that it's, you know, twofold. It's the people there when you need help, but it's also people there to inspire you and share some of their creativity and the cool things that they're up to. I am like this much, you know, there compared to some people in our community, and every day I'm like, all right, I'm like, even like what you're doing down here, I'm like, oh, you know, this is looking pretty snazzy. I need to step it up.
Look, it's all at Ecamm. I
Yeah.
wouldn't have known how to do it except for the fact that I see other people and I'm like, I can recreate that. I could do that in Ecamm.
Yeah, like, I love what you're doing with comments here, right? Like, I haven't really for any of the shows that I do, I don't like, this is easy to do. Like, I can now that I see it, I'm like, "Oh, yeah, I could do this in Ecamm," but I hadn't even really thought about and they look so great having the comments so big and in
Yeah.
this kind of yeah, it looks awesome. So, yeah, there's tons of ideas. Just gotta take notes and see what other
I
people are
feel
doing.
validated now. I feel like, hey,
Good,
okay,
you
so
should feel that it
your
looks
show is
awesome.
good. Your show is good
It
because
looks
Katie just
awesome.
gave it a thumbs up. So there you go.
I won't do that though because I'm scared that my reactions will come up with Sonoma. I'm like, "Here's my thumbs up." Yeah, I don't wanna do it. Scared,
I turned it
scared,
off
scared.
so that I won't be afraid. But
I
yes,
think I did, but I'm still a little freaked out. I don't know.
I love it. Okay, look, everybody. I'm seeing stuff in here. I got one more question that popped in, and then we need to let Katie go because she has to get ready for her show. But let me pop up
9 o'clock, y'all. 9
yeah,
o'clock Eastern. You come
she's
hang
got to be
out.
on time. She's got to be on
Yeah.
time, and we gotta go over there and support. How are you getting square profile pictures in the comments?
This is
Well,
a good question.
I think that actually is an Ecamm, excuse me, an Ecamm option. I think I did
You know what?
something in Ecamm. I'm gonna
No, I'm embarrassed to say that I don't know the answer to that one, as
I'm
I
gonna
haven't
get
messed with it
him.
yet. I
I'm
leave
gonna
it
get him
alone.
the answer because I do have the answer. I did something that made that happen, but I will double check it and I will give you. Yeah, look, Charlene, and I will give
I
you.
People's it's so nice that you can see, like, when it's bigger, you can see people's pictures, and that's so
Yes,
nice. I'm sold on
yes,
this. I think it's great.
yes, yes, yes. I'll send you some fly clothes. Oh, so he can be okay. All right, y'all are a mess. All right, look, lady, I know you got to get over to your show. I want to remind everybody one more time where it is. So go to see Katie at the VHS Club on YouTube, y'all, at the
Yeah, come
VHS
hang out.
Club, and make sure you
Un
subscribe.
unless you don't like movies that may or may not be terrible from the '80s, '90s, and early 2000s, in which case this is not a show for you.
Don't do it. Don't go for it if you don't like those, because we don't need nasty comments in the
Yeah,
comments.
this is a fun space for us to reminisce about how terrible/awesome these movies are, so
I
oh,
love
well.
it. Thank you so much for coming on the show, Katie. Thank you
Thanks
for
for
all that you
having
do.
me.
Thanks for giving an amazing experience at Ecamm Creator Camp. And now I see a lot of people that are excited about Creator Camp 24. So know that I'm going to be like one of the first people signing up because I need to come see my friend Anna, who I told her she is now my favorite. But I'm also going to
She
say you're one of my favorites too. So
No, I she needs to be at least 2 steps above me. I am still in tears that I didn't have time to get my headshot from her, and I've been seeing everyone's headshots, and they all look so good, and I'm like, "Why? Why did I not make time for that?" So I keep telling Anna, "I'm on a road soon here. I'm just gonna road trip to her
yeah,
house and spend some time for Katie pop-up photo day." Like
exactly.
high school. I'm just gonna
Yep.
go and do it. Yeah, no, she's fantastic, and yeah, I cannot wait to do it all over again. I'm so thrilled. We, like, came off the end of Creator Camp, and I was like, "Oh, okay, like, I think I really wanna do this again. Everyone seems like they really want to, but what do Ken and
Yes.
Glenn think?" And they were like, "Oh, yeah, if you wanna do it, let's do it again." So,
Look, we would
it
have been
was
writing like, "Hey, Ken and Glenn,
yeah,
look, this is a done deal. We're not
yeah.
even asking. We're telling you,
We're writing
create a
in.
camp."
We're writing in that it has to happen. Alright, that's it. We're there.
All right, y'all. Look, everybody in the comments. I know Scott said I thought I was your favorite. You're my favorite too. Everybody who's here in the comments, you're all my favorite. I love you all.
Oh,
Okay, we're going to wrap it up real quick, Miss Katie. Thank you so much for hanging out
thank
with us. I'm
you.
going to close it out real fast so we can get over to the VHS Club. Look, folks, I'm Tanya Smith. This has been Stream Like a Boss TV. I have had an amazing time talking to someone who is now near and dear to me, Katie Fawkes from Ecamm. Look, Dr. Elo said, I didn't get a headshot either. He forgot. Shame. But look, we want to continue to support our Ecamm fam. If you are not already using Ecamm, you need to DM me and just ask me for the link and I will send it to you, okay? Because I do have an affiliate link. or just go over to Ecamm, just type in Ecamm Network and you'll find it. Okay. Um, Super excited about everything that's coming up. There's so many things. Keep in mind that she talked about simplicity, keeping things as simple as possible. And that is definitely the word of the day because we all are so overwhelmed with content and with other duties and responsibilities. So just stay focused, stay encouraged, and keep on streaming. I will see you on next week, Thursday. Our regular time is usually about an hour after we started for today, so 8 p.m. Eastern. I look forward to seeing you there. We're going to talk a little bit more about live stream solutions. How do you use live streaming so that you can stand out online, serve more people, and sell more of your services, especially if you're a service business? Take care, everybody, and good night.